John Mayer is a screamin' blues guitar player, and he posted a clip online I want to dive into. He's explaining some great ideas for unlocking and understanding blues guitar on the fretboard, including something he deemed the Pentatonic Equator. Check this out.
Until the last couple years. So you're in C, and I'm sorry that the screen is flipped for the selfie camera, but so this idea, that's the pentatonic. I want you to think of the C across the neck as the equator. And this is sort of above ground and this is sort of below ground. So everyone is always thinking about, here's C, everything happens above it.
So what he's talking about here is the pentatonic scale, C, E flat, F, G, B flat, in the key of C here in the 8th position, which is like the most common minor pentatonic that players learn often as their first pentatonic scale. Now, they think about this and it really lands into this position where your index is almost like a capo, right? And there's so many great blues licks where you're just playing in that position and you can go up higher, right? Like a lot of players learn that next position as well. And so that's basically what he's referencing here.
What I think is really interesting is here's C. Let's be symmetrical and move out this way and out this way. And the way you would do that is go instead of, you're really just moving. So I'm going to show you what that's like. This is playing a minor pentatonic in C, but in that same area as a major. So that's really in the same spot as major, but you're playing it in minor, and what that means is that the ergonomics of it are flipped, and I'll show you what I mean.
Okay, so what he's talking about is instead of playing your same licks, like typical kind of minor pentatonic licks in this position, is you shift down and make that more of your default. So the licks kind of get inverted, like that becomes, and you get a completely different feel. You're using different notes. Now you're playing off this area, which is shifting instead of, I guess, above the pentatonic equator, below, and he said symmetrical. It's not really symmetrical, like it repeats. I guess the notes are symmetrical in that they repeat all over the fretboard, but it's not the same fingering. It's a different fingering, and that's what gets you into a new creative space. If you've struggled to play blues guitar like John Mayer is here all over the fretboard, then go to johnmclennan.com/bluescales and get your hands on my free blues scale PDF guide. This is going to show you the 5 different patterns that map out the fretboard above the pentatonic equator and below, like what John is talking about here. And all the great players know these patterns and these notes all over the fretboard. So you want to make sure you know it. You can learn it completely for free by going to johnmclennan.com/bluescales and grabbing my free blues scale PDF guide.
A lot of what guitar players play is based on what's available to them in terms of hammer-ons and pull-offs. But there's all these, it gets inverted when you go,
So what he means by inverted is the notes flip. So here, for example, if you pull off like here I'm getting the notes F, E flat, C to B flat. But here you get E flat to C, B flat to G, right? So it's a different sound. And when you sort of default to, as a guitar player, we tend to, do our hammer-ons and pull-offs, but when you're in a new position, you get a totally different arrangement of notes, and it gets a different effect.
So take this. it that way. But it's not really shaped that way in terms of kicking off. So we've all done that if you want to get around it.
What he means here is it's not really shaped that way is a very important point of guitar. You could take a lick, like that lick, okay? If I do that, that's so ergonomic and easy for my fingers to grab that arrangement of notes in that order, in that position. But if I do that here, let's see. So that's gonna be, so I can't get the pull off there because I'm on a different string. Right, so it becomes a completely different feel to play that same arrangement. Now, if you want to get the same lick, you'd have to go there. So that's the same thing in a different position, but as you explore the fretboard, you'll find certain licks fall really nice in one area. And when you try and transfer that to other areas, it often doesn't work out. There's some licks in some areas that you don't want to play. I mean, you can try and play them. They're just not going to fall as evenly under your fingers. It's just the way the guitar works. It's very important to understand that.
Versus, it's so much fun. So if we're in C, I'm gonna play everything underneath that equator line.
Playing over blues here, 12 bar blues. C.
Major.
Okay, so that was, he threw a little twist in there. He went to basically, instead of playing this scale that he's talking about here, the minor pentatonic, then he went to major pentatonic. And when you mix those in, like, see that there? That gets you a really great sound. Great first finger bends.
Standard pentatonic. So if you think about it, like, that's not a capo. You can move that anywhere you want. You can take it off at any time. So I really wanted to get into that first.
So that's the idea. You know, a lot of players will be real comfortable in this position, but you don't see them as often go and be able to flow across the fretboard. Let's see what people are saying. This is how your grandma feels when you teach her computers. Can you imagine if back in the day, Jimmy Page just randomly gave lessons to the entire planet? As if this man's music wasn't enough of a gift, he takes the time to teach us. I truly benefit from his vids. Wouldn't have understood what JM's talking about last year, but love the point I'm at when the dots all start to connect up and down the neck. If you want to truly master this stuff, then go to johnmclennan.com/bluescales and grab my free blues scale PDF guide. This is going to dive deep into these patterns that John Mayer is talking about and all the great blues masters use. And it's completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/bluescales and grab that now as my gift to you. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you might like this one next.